I have Yolanda Irving on the call with me today, and she's a member of the Primal Fit coaching community. And Yolanda, can you give everyone out there listening just a little bit of background on who you are and where you come from, and why you're here, how you got to me?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm Yolanda Bronston now. My husband will correct you fast on that one. Irvin's my middle name, so that's who you knew me as growing up. Matt and I grew up together. Most people know me as a ex-athlete, a former athlete. In my mind, I'm still an athlete.
Yeah.
I grew up playing sports. Basketball is my primary sport. I was blessed enough to play Division I basketball, so I've always been active. I've always been, really into working out. But as you get older, life happens. Have a kid, have a family. My job right now, I work at a school, and I'm a basketball coach. I have several athletes that are under my tutelage, I guess you could say, right?
Good
under
word.
my umbrella.
Yeah.
So not only am I a coach here at the school, I coach the varsity girls basketball team, but I also have my own business with a business partner of mine, and we train athletes. And that's a little bit about where I'm from, and what I do now. I'm going to say that's really what, keeping those things in mind, especially being a mentor, being a coach, really being an influencer with young people, specifically young athletes. That's really what made me make the decision to take you up on the offer to get myself right. You know what I'm saying?
To be a good role model.
So, right. I've spent years, after my career was over, I've spent years coaching other athletes. Just like when you're coaching, I do a lot of sessions on goal setting. I train athletes to get them in shape, to get them game ready. So, part of what I was thinking for the past several years is, man, I know what I'm doing, but if I'm telling them, right, this is what you need to do to get in shape, you won't be able to play unless you're in shape. This is what your body needs to look like. This is how you need to fuel your body. And I'm not doing those things. In the back of my mind, for years, I was a hypocrite. And I never I didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So years after basketball, less activity, life, marriage, kids, you kind of let yourself go a little bit. So tell me, when were you at your worst?
Yeah, I let myself go a lot of bit. At my heaviest, and now keep in mind I'm 5'7". At my heaviest, I hit 263, I believe. That was my son's about to be 17 next week, so that's when he was about 3, right? And that was my heaviest. And since then, at that point, I joined one of those weight loss programs, ended up losing 30 pounds, but those programs don't teach you how to sustain your weight loss, right? I want you to come in, lose a lot of weight really quick. But, after I stopped doing the program, there was no maintenance, right? So I ended up gaining weight back. Then took another dive and, I started working out really hard, which is what I love to do. I love working out. Lost a lot of weight again. And that was between 2008 and 2013, because that's when I married my husband, was 2013. So during that time, I dropped weight again, right? The great thing was this morning, and I'm sure we'll talk about this in a second. This morning, I woke up and I got on the scale, and I realized, I texted my husband, I said, I'm officially leaner and I weigh less than the day that we got married. And that day, I was in great shape.
Yeah.
I was in awesome shape. So to wake up and see that on the scale this morning, that was awesome.
So you've been struggling, kind of battled with some yo-yoing, for quite a while. But not only the scale, but your own health. Can you give the viewers a little bit of background on your health and how it started to deteriorate on you as well?
Yeah. So in 2001, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, and I had a really bad flare up. Then I always had like a weird stomach, you know, but that's when I was diagnosed. And since then, I've tried a lot of things to try to eliminate things that I thought was the issue and the things that I thought were causing me to flare up over the years. So prior to having my son, actually, I was a vegetarian. I didn't eat any meat. And I was a vegetarian probably for about 2 years prior. But I still never felt like super healthy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I always thought that, you know, meat was hard for me to digest. You know, that's what was causing my issues. And then fast forward to about 3.5, 4 years ago, I switched back to being plant-based, right? Borderline vegan. I didn't ever really jump over the fence to be full vegan, but I was plant-based. No meat at all. Didn't eat any kind of flesh. But I was still having flare-ups. I was still bloated every single day, gassy every single day, stomach pain every single day. No exaggeration. 7 days a week, bloated, nasty, feeling disgusting. So, you know, I won't go into the gory, nasty details of when you have a flare-up of ulcerative colitis, but it's not fun,
No.
right? But I wasn't one of those people that when they had a flare-up or because they have, you know, an inflammatory bowel disease that lose weight, right? So, you know, being plant-based, I was eating a lot of carbs and I was eating a lot of vegetables, a lot of raw vegetables. But, you know, at the time, I didn't realize what was making me feel so bad. So that's when you kind of came in, you know, and I was talking to you a little bit about how I was eating, what I was eating. And I'm not even gonna lie, I was like mad skeptical. You were like, yo, you got to cut out those vegetables. You know, you got to add some meat. I was like, Pack is crazy. Like, you know, I haven't had meat in years. This is going to tear me up. But what, 4 months later, I probably feel better than I can't even tell you the last time I felt this good.
That's amazing.
You know? I can't tell you, like, I'm 47 and I can't remember not having stomach pain.
Because that was going on for years. I mean, you're talking about since 2001, right? You said you were diagnosed?
Yes, I was diagnosed in 2001, but I have had those issues way before 2001. That's just when I was diagnosed. Yeah.
And the flare-ups, that's the extra.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And how often were you having flare-ups, yo?
Well, like I was saying,
is that a monthly? You know, is that a monthly thing? Is that how often did that used to happen?
It used to happen monthly. You know, every month, every 6 weeks, I was having some kind of flare up. Now, as far as like a major flare up, where I was down and out, probably like every 6 months. You know, every 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
But everyday symptoms, you know, regular symptoms, that was every day.
Like bloated, stomach pain, gassy, bowel movements, issues.
Every day.
Yeah.
Now that we're sitting here thinking about it, I can't remember that not happening. You know, I think back years and years. So that's That's
huge. I mean, that means more to me. I want to get into the weight loss and, you know, the aesthetic changes. But to me, I think, you know, my philosophy in our program is about health first. And, you know, I'm more interested in internal before external. So that means the most to me, that you're, you know, that's a long time with discomfort and pain. And I would never know what you're dealing with, but I've dealt with some other people just like you. And from what I've heard, colitis and you know, Crohn's and all these gastrointestinal types of issues are horrible, because it's just on a daily basis and it's very painful. So to hear you say that you haven't had pain and discomfort in a long time, that's humongous. It's awesome. So tell the group what happened on the scale and you know, what's happened aesthetically with your changes.
Yeah. So I started with you on June 2nd, and that first week I did, you know, matter of fact, I didn't even start with a 48-hour fast because I didn't read the book right. Yeah. Right. So I just started with 24-hour fast every day. And then toward the end of that week, I was like, oh, damn, I'm supposed to do a 48. So I ended up doing, I think, like a 50-hour fast. And at the end of that week, Sunday morning, I went and got on the scale, and I started at 239, right? So I got on the scale and I looked at the number and I ran out into the garage to my husband. I was like, Randy, guess what? You know, I think I was like 226
Yeah.
at the end of the first week, you know, and I was like, damn, you know, I was like, okay, Pat knows what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
So since then, you know, the weight for the first month was crazy. I think I lost like 23 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And steadily, you know, the second and third month, you know, everything was just steady. And then, you know, over the past, like, I'd say 3 weeks, I've hit kind of like a plateau, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But I've hit a plateau on the scale. So this morning I was 202.4, 202.2, I think. But the inches, this past 4 weeks, I haven't measured inches, which I wish I would have.
Yeah.
But I can tell by the way, you know, all my clothes are fitting. And just, you know, knowing that I've lost 30 some pounds, close to 40 pounds, this past month is when people have really started to notice. Actually, this past 2 weeks.
So it's been 4 months, right?
Yeah, since June. Yeah.
So 4 months. So almost four. So about 40 pounds in 4 months.
Yep.
It's pretty good. And how are your clothes fitting?
Oh man, I can fit in everything in my closet. There's nothing that's too small. And I'm at the point now where I'm probably gonna have to go buy some clothes.
Yeah.
You know, basketball season's getting ready to start, and I like to coach in sweatsuits. And I haven't tried on my sweatsuits because I'm like, they're gonna be too big.
They're gonna be baggy.
Like, yeah, they're all men's extra large from the last couple seasons. So yeah, I know that I'm gonna have to, you know, talk to our rep and get some more sweats, but that's a good problem to have.
That's a great problem to have. And you said people are starting to take notice and they're seeing the body changes.
Yeah. The last 2 weeks, I mean, you know, I've had a couple people here and there like, wow, you know, you've lost some weight. Or, you know, when we do weekend workouts with the team and we're outside, I've now started to be able to work out with them. You know, this is the first time I've ever worked out with them over the whole quarantine and everything. But now people are starting to be like, man, they're like, Coach, you're moving good. You know,
Yeah.
Coach, your shorts are baggy, you know. But the past couple weeks, people have been like, skinny, you know, which is never really a word that I've ever heard.
Yeah. And pretty cool too. I think how good does it feel that you're out there like moving better? And I think it sounds like, are you in less pain? I know you have some bone on bone knee issues, all, you know, from your years of playing basketball. Have you found a difference in your mobility and your movement being less 40 pounds less?
Definitely. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I moved like normally this time last year, right? Even earlier this year, by the end of a training session, because in my mind, it's still 91 and I can still do all these things, right?
Of course.
So, you know, I'm trying to demonstrate and, you know, just like a jump stop. So normally by the end of a session, like for the next 2 days, I can't walk.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm on the court all day, Sundays. By Sunday evening, you know, might be a little swollen because it is bone on bone. But I mean, the next morning I'm popped up and ready to go. So I can definitely tell the inflammation is way, way better than it was before.
Amazing. So we got less inflammation, less knee pain, you're moving better, 40 pounds less, and your stomach issues have pretty much come to a halt, right?
Yep. Unless I eat something I'm not supposed to.
What's that?
Learn that lesson. Unless I eat something I'm not supposed to, and I learned that lesson quick. I can't do that.
Right, and I think that's a nice segue right here. So I think it's important to I hope that you feel that the program has given you some sustainability and some ongoing education, because I'm not interested in you going back to your old ways, right? I'm hoping that we're giving you the tools that you can carry out and implement for the rest of your life. This is about a lifestyle change, not some quick weight loss program where you go back to your old ways and have to go back to those old clothing. We're not going back. So how do you feel that the program is different from other ones that you've been associated with?
The difference between your program and other programs for me is it has changed my relationship with food, right? So you hear that phrase all the time. It's changed my relationship with food, right? But now I understand what different types of food, what different types of macronutrients do for my body, do to my body, right?
You're paying attention.
Yes, right. Instead of just mindlessly drinking whatever, eating whatever, right? Now that relationship with food has changed to the point where I respect my body more, right? Which sounds strange coming from someone who played, a Division I sport, but I didn't respect my body, you know. That is the biggest takeaway that I've taken from your program, right? Before I put something in my mouth, I'm like, that's not good for me, that's not, I gotta be on the court all day tomorrow. I can't eat that. I won't have any energy tomorrow, or if I eat that, I'm gonna crash. It's taught me moderation, because the way that I am, I have to be in control, right? So I have to be able to say, if I'm gonna eat that, if I want to eat that, I'm gonna eat it, right? But now I understand if I eat a little something, right, then all right, well, no more of that for the week. I'll take a couple bites. Can't have that anymore. I'll be fasting, here in a couple days. I'll do a 40-hour fast or whatever. So I understand my body a lot more than I did before, and I don't even want the things that I used to just mindlessly eat. Like, it's not even, a thought to me to go eat a sub, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's changed my taste buds. Like, when I'm hungry, I want some steak. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know how you are about chicken. But I might want some roasted chicken or something. But it's just it's changed the way I think about food.
So I'm hearing like you're thinking of fuel. It's almost like food is like fuel, right?
Yeah.
And I think it can be medicinal or it can be poisonous, right? It kind of depends on the person, but the structure you're using, some strategy like you would with basketball, like you would tell your teammates or your youngsters, is strategically using food that works best for your body. So that means a lot to me that you've learned and you're implementing these strategies and you're applying it, and also that it's going to be part of your life going forward.
Right. Yeah, definitely. One of the greatest feelings that I had was yesterday. I had a meeting with my team because the season's getting ready to officially start, and I always have goal setting sessions with them, right? And one of the questions that I ask as we're going around the room is, I want you to tell me 3 things individually that you are committing to do for your team to make us better collectively.
Love it.
Right? So we go around and, I make them be specific. They just can't be like, well, I'm going to work hard. No, let's be specific. Right. So they went around and most of them left. And I was in there with one of the players and we were kind of cleaning up. And I said, nobody asked me what coach was going to do, a couple things coach was going to do to help us be better. So I was talking to her and I was like, they all know that I've lost weight and they're like super impressed. But the thing that I've committed to do to them without even verbalizing it to them is to be healthier, be a role model, practice what I preach, and have them see me taking care of myself, right? So that at 14, 15, 16, 17, they remember that from Coach Yo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So inspire them. Yeah. So that was a great feeling to have that conversation yesterday.
It's huge. That's congratulations. That's huge. So, do you see this as being sustainable for you? What I've given you?
Absolutely. Okay. This is to me the easiest weight loss I've ever had. I'm not beating my body up every single day. I've learned, this has been a learning process. But I can't see myself going back to my old ways. I can't mindlessly just put junk in my mouth anymore. I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, not just physically, right? Not just because I don't want to get, you know, gain fat that I've lost, but mentally, you know, with all the things I'm trying to accomplish in life, you know, you got to wake up. My necklace here says, wake up, hustle, repeat, right? The name of my business is Hungry Hustle.
Love it.
So, and it's a mindset, you know. So if you're eating good, you're feeling good, you know, I wake up, my mind is clear, the ideas that I have, the business ideas, you know, I'm ready to tackle the day. I can't do that if I'm not fueling my body properly.
That's awesome. And what do you say to somebody that might be on the fence and not really ready to take action, or they're contemplating taking action and they're worried about the program? What would you say to somebody like that?
First of all, you got to bet on yourself, right? And what I realize and what I would pass on to somebody else is that you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So in order to take care of my family, in order to take care of, you know, the athletes that depend on me, I can't take care of those things, and you can't take care of other things and other people until you're taking care of yourself. You have to be number one, you know. You got to be number one, and health is wealth, you know. That's the most. You only get one body,
Yeah.
right? You only get one body, and depending on your beliefs, we're only here once. You know what I'm saying? So you got to put yourself first. You got to be number one, you know.
Advice.
I always tell myself I can't pour from an empty cup, you know. I got to take care of you.
I love it. That's great advice right there. And I appreciate you and and how you've inspired everybody in our group and pushed people. You've been a coach, you know, in our support group too. I hope the support group has inspired you as well, because that's what it's there for. So thank you for your hard work and your dedication to that one body that you got, and your input, how you've been able to inspire and push others in the group to reach their best self too, because a lot of people are looking at you and as a leader, just like your kids.
Thank you, Pack. I want to thank you because like you've taught me so much, you know. I would not have been able to lose this weight without you. I wouldn't. I've tried and tried and tried, but just learning from you, and you know, you gave me the kick in the ass that I needed verbally.
A couple times.
To do what I got to do. Yeah, right. And that's what I respond to. You know, so I appreciate you. I just want to say thanks.
Yeah, we got a jump start. We got a good jump start on this. Just keep it going.
I can't wait to see what I look like and how I feel a year from now.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, it's only been 4 months. That's what's the cool thing about this is, and sometimes we forget about that. You know, how long it took for you to put the weight on in the first place, how long it took for you to get unhealthy in the first place. It took years. So I'm really excited to see where you're going to be, you know, October of next year myself. Yeah. Crazy. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you doing this for me and inspiring everybody that's going to be watching this. And so I appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Pat.
You're welcome.